Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. And this video today is one that's in a series that I call One Polish 5 Ways, where I take some iconic nail polishes and figure out like different ways to use them for the purpose of really like revisiting them. I know even for some of the most beloved and iconic polishes that are out there, sometimes you get to a point where you're just like, I don't feel like wearing that one. I've got plenty of others I can do. And I think part of it for me can be that I feel like I've already, I know what to get out of wearing that certain polish. And so that's a big part of what inspired me to start this series, where I revisit some of these polishes in my collection and try to figure out different ways to use them to get a different look than what I've already done. I think it can also be helpful for those of you who may not yet own these polishes, but you've been thinking about it and then you decide, okay, let me buy this polish, and now I know there's more that I can do with it than just wearing it by itself. So today's polish is Sassy Sauce's Doodle Doom, and I'm just gonna start by can you see the fill line there? Like, it is about halfway. I've used about half of this bottle, and this is interesting for me because this is one of the first polishes that I bought from an indie nail polish maker about a little over a year ago when I first got into painting my nails. And purple is one of my favorite colors. I mean, I'm wearing purple. I've got my purple lighting going on right now, so it's very fitting. But I remember people saying that if you love purple, Doodle Doom is one of the best polishes to get because of how vivid and pigmented it is. And like I said, I've used up about half of this bottle, but I don't think I can tell you the last time that I remember wearing this. And that was part of why I decided to spotlight it today, to see what else I could do with it. So for today's video, I hope that you all get some inspiration from this. If you have Doodle Doom in your collection, feel free to pull out a swatch wheel and some swatch sticks and follow along. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. First, we're going to take a look at how Doodle Doom performs on its own. This is something that I think is going to be really helpful for you all to see if you do not yet own it, because even though, like I said, it is a very colorful, very pigmented polish, it is something that you will most likely need to take a few coats on its own to build up to reaching some kind of opacity. So let me show you how it works. See what I mean? Like it is, I was surprised when I used this for the first time and I saw how sheer it was, because when I saw all these pictures of it online, they looked so much more opaque, and I couldn't quite figure out why mine was not doing that. But I will say that Doodle Doom is a polish that it's very versatile, as you will see as we go throughout this. And even if you wear it on its own, it is possible to build it up to get more of that vibrant color in it. I'm going to give this a minute to dry a bit, and then let's go into the next coat. Okay, moving on to the second coat here, just so you can see how this behaves. I say behaves like it's like a child or something, but like, no, but for real, I think one of the most important things that I've learned about using nail polish is the fact that not every polish in your collection is going to behave the same way as it relates to like how self-leveling it is. Some of this can be based on the type of brush that comes with it, so and so on, and other factors. So it is important to make sure that you know what you're dealing with. So this is 2 coats of Doodle Doom. You can see that we're still not yet at opacity, but we have made quite a jump up from where we started with just 1. And yeah, in just a moment, you'll see what it looks like when we go up to 3. So be right back. And finally, for this first part, I want to show you what it looks like when you move into putting the 3rd coat on. You see why I love this color so much? Like, it is just, I know I said I love purple, and purple for the longest time has been one of my favorite colors because like the college that I went to was very purple with our colors. So I think that's where I first fell in love with it. But over the past few years, and then especially this past year of being into nail polish, I think I've started to shift specifically towards magenta as being the type of purple that I most love. Okay, so here we are with 3 coats of Doodle Doom. It is just absolutely stunning. And yeah, my best advice for this is to, if you're wearing it on its own, doing 3 coats is a pretty good way to start with it. And yeah, let's move on to the next way that we're going to talk about this one. The second way that I'm going to discuss using Doodle Doom is as a topper. And one of the things that I love about using Doodle Doom, it's so hard to say that over and over. Okay, I can do this. One of the things I love the most about using this polish as a topper is that because there are so many different color shifts within this polish, you can really pick and choose which aspect of the color within it that you are wanting to highlight, and then choose that accordingly for when you're selecting your base color to put it over. So for this part, I've chosen 3 different colored polishes that I'm going to show you with Doodle Doom on top of it, because I think that if you look at this polish on its own in certain angles, you can see purple hints, you can absolutely see like berry magenta hints. And then also, if you want to, well, you'll see how it looks when it goes over black. It's a really good option for that as well, especially as we're in the fall season. So let me show you which polishes I've chosen, and we'll do these one at a time. The first one for purple is Lurid Lacquer Indomitable, which is also, interestingly enough, about halfway empty. Y'all, I said I love purple, and here is the evidence. Like, that is a fill line right there. So I chose this one first because it is my favorite, and I actually used this combination the other day in one of my Did I Nail It videos, so it was perfect timing for this to pop up again. Look at that. Oh, it's just so pretty. And the reason, one of the reasons why I recommend using Doodle Doom as a topper is that, and I'm emphasizing as a topper because coming up next, we're going to do it like with the topper. But one of the reasons why I recommend this approach is, especially if you are someone who prefers a more opaque look and you're wanting to not have to keep building up Doodle Doom on its own to try to get there. So for reference, I did 2 coats of Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable as a base there, and then you can see the color shifts in there. Like I said, it's almost like whatever color you put it under, or I'm sorry, whatever color polish you put this on top of, it really does bring out that highlight in it that much more. The next one, this berry magenta, is Essie's Nailed It. And let's see, this was just 1 coat of that polish that I started with. It's a cream, so it was a little bit more opaque to begin with. So do you see the difference here? It's like you still get that same overall shimmer, but like when I'm looking at the purple one with Indomitable, I'm getting more of like obviously purple and pink colors. This one here is shifting more into like reddish orange territory. And y'all, I'm telling you, if you've never started to experiment with putting shimmer polishes on top of other ones, especially creams, you have been missing out. This is, it's almost like you are giving yourself the gift of a brand new polish right here because of the combination that you're doing. Let's go on to the third one. This is a black cream, 1 coat of this, Bee's Knees Lacquer Void, which is my go-to black cream polish. Let's see how this looks over black. Okay. Yeah, so now we are absolutely in like fiery orange mode here. And this, I think, is an excellent combination that you can try if you are, you know, we're in November right now, and if you're looking at your collection thinking, I need some more fall nail polishes. I don't really have a lot of good, like, rustic, earthy, warm fall colors. Well, if you already have Doodle Doom in your collection, and if you already have a black cream polish in your collection, you can put them together and it basically comes out looking like an orange red shimmer polish. It blows my mind when I think about how I can start with a polish that looks like this. Well, now I hold it next to it and it looks alike. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, over here, it looks more pink, but over here on the right, this looks more orange. So yeah, this is how it looks when you put Doodle Doom over a number of different polishes and you're using it as a topper. The third strategy that I'm gonna recommend for using Doodle Doom is to use it with a topper. So over here, remember we used it as a topper, but now on each of these nails, I've swatched out 3 coats of Doodle Doom, and now I'm gonna show you how it looks with 3 different toppers that I've pulled out from my collection. The first one being Cert Colors Nectar. This is just a stunning gold, just shimmery ball of joy that's here. And as much as I say that though, it also, believe it or not, is one that I would recommend to be on the subtle side as a topper, depending on what you put it over, of course. But I do want to show you how that looks and what I mean by subtle for using it together with Doodle Doom. So I'm just going to put 1 coat of Nectar. Oh, look at that though, the sparkle. So this, in my opinion, is subtle in the sense of when you already have a polish like Doodle Doom that you really love, but as shimmery as it already is, you want it to have just a little bit more oomph. And one thing I've talked about quite a bit on my channel is how sometimes certain polishes tend to work better with gold toppers compared to silver ones. And I think that Doodle Doom is one that just absolutely, you can't go wrong with putting a gold topper over it. And you know, the more that this settles in and the more that you look at it, I say subtle because it's not as like bam in your face. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so aggressive, like bringing that close to the camera like that. It's not as in your face as, say, if you were to use reflective glitter, but it does give you just a little bit of extra sparkle there in a way that absolutely complements the underlying magenta color. Next, let's say you love Doodle Doom and you want even more color in it. This one that I have as a topper is IL&P's Confetti, which looks like confetti in a bottle. You've got these rainbow little micro flakes here, and as much as I love this topper, I will say that it does not work well with every single polish. Like, there's some that I'm just like, oh yes, that let me put confetti on top of it, and others where I'm just like, it's just not the best pairing. But I do think that confetti pairs very well with Doodle Doom, as you will see here. So this is what I would recommend for when you are wanting to give even more like color to Cock-a-Doodle Doom and make it even more fun, but to not necessarily put hollow on it, because these are little tiny like flakes or tiny glitter. It's not like a silver hollow topper. You're not gonna get that kind of sparkle with it. But I do think that the blending of the color in the confetti topper goes very, very well with Cock-a-Doodle Doom, giving you just a little bit more color without it standing out to the point where you're just like, oh, what is going on with that now? Okay, and the third one is one of my favorite toppers. I think I probably just said that for confetti and nectar. I probably did. I wouldn't be pulling these out if they weren't some of my favorite toppers, but I really do like this one a lot. It's from Spectrum Cosmetics and it's called Slay. Do you notice I did like a little hip motion with that? Slay. Okay, and so this one is a red flake topper. And you know how I was talking about the benefit of Cock-a-Doodle Doom having just so many different color shifts in there, and how like when you use it as a topper, you can really choose which colorful aspect of Cock-a-Doodle Doom you want to highlight. I think that can be the same thing with a topper like Slay. So if you are someone who is particularly drawn to the more reddish aspects of Cock-a-Doodle Doom, I think that putting a red flake topper like Slay on top of it, I mean, oh my goodness, just this is just so beautiful. I never know when to stop when I put toppers on, and I'm just gonna put more on here because it's not gonna hurt. That is so pretty. Okay, yeah, and this is something where it just, again, it gives some extra visual interest, but without being something that looks like it doesn't really fit there. So now hopefully you can see what I mean when I was saying that like putting nectar as a topper is actually what I would consider to be more subtle compared to using confetti or using Slay here. But we're gonna do something very fun with Slay coming up next. So let's see how that goes. The next technique that we'll be covering is using Cock-a-Doodle Doom in a jelly sandwich. If you are unfamiliar with that term, and maybe you're just getting a little bit hungry right now, a jelly sandwich is where you use a polish, typically like a jelly, one that's intentionally sheer so that it's buildable. And you start with that polish, do a couple coats of it, put some kind of topper, like flakes, something like that in the middle, and then top it off again with the jelly polish and make it a jelly sandwich. So you get kind of like a pond effect that's there. And because Cock-a-Doodle Doom has a jelly base to it, I thought, well, why not show the difference between how it looks when you are using it with the topper versus when you then take it to the next level and basically like encapsulate that topper by putting on another layer of Cock-a-Doodle Doom to close it up. But oh wait, what is this? We have a special guest visitor here. Some of you may have noticed that there's this one in the middle, which is another polish from Sassy Sauce called Glampire 2.0 that I picked up in this year's Polish Pickup Rewind. I believe that the maker of Sassy Sauce Polish actually started with Glampire first and then evolved that to remove the red flakes and the black flakes that are in here, and then you ended up with what we now have as Cock-a-Doodle Doom. But y'all know me, you know I love a good dupe attempt, and so since I have Glampire here in 3 coats, and over here on each of these I have Cock-a-Doodle Doom in 2 coats, we're going to use this one here to try to dupe out Glampire 2.0, and it by doing so, that's going to be an example of using Cock-a-Doodle Doom in a jelly sandwich. And then I've got another one we're gonna do over here, but let's go ahead and try this out. So first, I'm just gonna zoom in a bit here so that you can really get a sense of what's going on in Glampire 2.0. Again, that's the one right there that's got like the little circle underneath it. You've got the same color base as you've got in Doodle Doom. Right now it's looking a little bit deeper purple, but I'm wondering if that's just because that one has been already built up in 3 coats, and so far this one next to it is only 2. But then the key thing here is that you've got red flakes and some black flakes. So yeah, let's get to it. So of course we're back to Slay from Spectrum Cosmetics, and let's see. Once again, I'm reminding myself I don't need to go too overboard with putting this topper on here, but I do want to make sure that I spread it out enough to where it shows up, and so far so good. Okay. This one here is very, so Slay, I'm gonna need to let that sit for a bit, because if you take a look in, why can I not get this back on? Okay, here we go. If you take a look in the bottle, and this is actually a fresh bottle of this, you can see just how liquidy it is. And so with this being one of the first times that I'm using it, it's carrying over a lot of that base liquid in it. So I'm gonna give it some extra time to dry. While that is drying, we're actually gonna jump ahead to our other jelly sandwich that we're gonna do. And I know that over here where I talked about using it with the topper, I used Cirque Colors Nectar to give like a subtle gold shimmer. Now again, emphasis on subtle, right? Because what would happen if I wanted to put another coat of Doodle Doom over top of this, I mean, I could, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but because this topper is so subtle, you're really going to, it's gonna get lost in the overall picture if you put something on top of it. But I still wanted to be able to show you all what it looks like when you use something gold in a jelly sandwich with Doodle Doom. So I pulled out from my collection Emily DeMolly's Waiting for the Sun. And look at that. I mean, like I said, Cirque Nectar is subtle. This is like, oh my goodness. It is, I feel like I'm like on the beach or something, or on the beach in the club, something like that. But the point here being, I want to demonstrate the difference in topper selection, and how if you're gonna do a jelly sandwich, you do want to choose a topper that is going to be visually distinct enough to show up with that. You know, I'll also say, as I'm putting this down here, these glitter pieces here, these little like curly glitters, I think another benefit of doing the jelly sandwich approach for this is that by putting another coat of Doodle Doom on top of this, you're basically treating that like a glitter smoothing top coat and making it so that you've got that additional layer of polish to kind of smooth it out before you then put your final top coat on. Okay, so now we're going to Waiting for the Sun. Wait, did I just say we're going to wait for, y'all know what I mean. We're going to let this one sit. And now that our Glampire 2.0 jelly sandwich dupe attempt has been sitting for a bit, we're gonna go over it with one of my favorites that I think shows up in just about every single video I do, but for good reason, Crack Polish Mascara Flakes. Very versatile black flake topper, and I think it's going to be exactly what we need for trying to dupe out Glampire 2.0. So I'm just gonna put that right on top of what I did for Slay. And I think, you know, as I'm doing this, I'll say one of the benefits of like trying to dupe these out yourself and making your own recreation of these polishes is that you get to fine tune the components there. So like, for example, let's say you really like Glampire 2.0 as it is out of the bottle. You like it in theory, but you're really drawn more to the red flakes than the black ones. So when you do your own dupe attempt, you can make that happen. You can bump down the amount of black flakes that you put in there and bump up the amount of red ones, or vice versa. So just another reason why I recommend duping things and just seeing what you get. Okay, so waiting for the sun, moving over here again, has been waiting for a bit. And now I'm going to go back over it with another coat of Doodle Doom, basically closing this out as the jelly sandwich. And before I do that, I will say, if you had this kind of polish like this, you could absolutely just stop here. I mean, I personally would put a glitter smoother over this and then a glossy top coat, but by stopping here, I mean, if this is what you want to have that more visible, you can, but I want to show you what it looks like when we do it as a jelly sandwich. Okay, so here's what we've got there. Do you see how with this jelly sandwich approach here, you still do get the benefit of seeing all that sparkle that's there, but it's almost, to me, when I look at this, it feels like those golden sparkles were just always part of the same one single polish. If I were to look at this, I wouldn't really think that I created this by doing 2 coats of Doodle Doom, followed by 1 coat of a topper, and then another coat of Doodle Doom. That is one of the main benefits of this jelly sandwich technique, where you get to have a very beautiful, very pulled together look, but in a way that was actually made by you layering it all yourself. And with that being said, let's just jump back over to our Glampire 2.0 dupe attempt. Last thing we need to do is add 1 more coat of Doodle Doom to make this one a jelly sandwich too. Oh, that looks beautiful. Now, I will say, to my eye, there does still seem to be an ever so slight difference in the purple hue of Glampire 2.0 compared to Doodle Doom. But y'all, here's the difference. Like, when you look at what we did over here, where we put Slay as a topper and just left it like that, the difference here with our dupe attempt for Glampire 2.0 is very similar to what's going on with the Waiting for the Sun one. It just feels a lot more pulled together. It feels more complete. It feels like those flakes that you put on there as toppers are really being suspended within that polish. So while I do think that using just a topper and stopping there is an absolutely valid way to work with Doodle Doom, do take advantage of the fact that Doodle Doom has a jelly base, and therefore it will allow you to do really fun and cool things like this. So yeah, and if any of y'all missed out on Glampire 2.0, here's how to make it. Real quick, before I go on to the final technique for this video, I just kept looking at this at Glampire and or Glampire 2.0, which now has a G by it, so we can make sure we know which one that is. And I just couldn't quite shake the feeling that something was off with my dupe attempt here that had the 2 coat of Doodle Doom, red flake, black flake, Doodle Doom again for jelly sandwich. And then it hit me. I looked back over here to where we started and remember when we were using Doodle Doom as a topper over Indomitable. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't necessarily want my dupe of Glampire 2.0 to have that level of opacity, but I do want some of that purple to be in here. You see what I mean? Like, it's just the slightest difference there. So y'all know me, and I always just have to test things out. So yeah, here we go. This is the new dupe attempt for Glampire 2.0 right here. So on this swatch stick, I have done 1 coat of Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable, 1 coat of Doodle Doom, 1 coat of the red flake polish, which was Spectrum Cosmetics Slay, 1 coat of the black flake polish, which was crack polish mascara flakes, and then I finished it off with 1 final coat of Doodle Doom. And so I'm just gonna like put this in between here so that you can see the difference. On the left is Glampire 2.0. On the right is my initial dupe attempt of it, and the swatch stick floating here in the middle is where I modified this ever so slightly to just replace one of those initial coats of Doodle Doom with 1 coat of Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable. Y'all, I mean, yeah, that I'm getting good at this. I'm just saying, like, that looks, I just, like I said, I just felt like something was wrong or something was missing, and I thought, I don't need to scrap all of this. I just need to fine tune it. And here we go. So I just wanted to pop in with that additional little tidbit before we get on to the last part here. The final way that I'm going to show you how to use Doodle Doom is with a matte top coat. And this, I know I often talk on this channel about things that I do to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to nail polish. And I think that from what I've seen with using this with Doodle Doom, I think that means that using a matte top coat more often is probably going to be one of the next ways that I start to ease out of my glossy comfort zone. If you've never used a matte top coat before, there's a couple things I'd recommend about it. First, you don't even have to go to a special fancy store or anything to get a matte top coat. You can get them in drugstores. I know I happened to be out at Ulta one day and realized, oh yeah, I don't have a matte top coat in my collection, so I just picked up one from there. And yeah, so once you have a matte top coat, the thing about it is that when you have the nail polish that you are looking to put this on top of, you actually do want to go over the polish with a glossy top coat first. I know it sounds strange because you're like, but wait, we're gonna put matte over it, right? So why do we need a glossy top coat? In my experience, personally, going over it with a glossy top coat first helps to just give, it helps to protect the polish underneath a little bit better. And don't worry, whether you use a glossy top coat or not, the quality of the matte is still going to look exactly the same. But the difference is that, especially if you're someone who wears your polish longer than I do, which is like I change mine every 1 to 2 days. But if you wear yours for longer than that and you don't want it to chip, I highly recommend glossy top coat first and then matte top coat on top of that. So what I've done here is 3 coats of Doodle Doom and then 1 coat of a glossy top coat. The one that I use is the Glisten and Glow Quick Dry top coat. And now I'm gonna go in with my matte top coat, and I'm gonna do this in real time and show you just how quickly this will become mattified. Yeah, the first time I used a matte top coat, I was like, it's not doing anything. I was so impatient. But yeah, it will start doing something very, very soon. Okay, so as this is drying, I will say, yeah, just wait and see how this looks. I was very surprised when I saw just how beautiful Cock-a-Doodle Doom looks when it is being combined with a matte top coat. You can start to see it change a little bit already, like around the top. As I'm angling this here, you can see that it's losing that glossiness that was there. And yeah, it's just about there. Also, I will admit that I put this on in a very streaky way, so it normally will look better than this with, you know, the brush strokes and everything, but I was kind of in a hurry to get this put down. But yeah, I can actually show you the version of this that looks even better, which is the one that I was using as I was preparing for this video and swatching things out. So if I show you this one here, okay, you see how that looks better? Like the one that I have here, it's fine, but like it's the one on this swatch wheel was done when I wasn't I waited longer for those coats to dry. So as much as I do like this one here that I did, this is the one that I would consider to be like the gold standard for what you know, you want to look for when you are doing a matte top coat. And just, I mean, if I were to compare this to side by side, or this one here is where we started with a glossy top coat, on the bottom you can see what it looks like with a matte top coat. I mean, I think you could even have a really good nail look even if you were to mix and match Cock-a-Doodle Doom with a glossy top coat and with a matte top coat in the same manicure. Like, do all of your fingers glossy, but except one as an accent nail, make it matte. That's amazing. So yeah, I think I am I don't know. I mean, I do know what happened here. I was rushing. I might try to fix this one up, but it's fine. You all saw what the better version looked like, so it's gonna be okay. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is go and show this in some different lighting so that you all can see the different results and how that looks, and then I'll be back to wrap things up. And so that brings us to the end of this video on 5 different ways to use Sassy Sauce Polish's Cock-a-Doodle Doom. I had a lot of fun, as always, putting this together, and I think that the strategies that I'll most likely be using moving forward the most with Cock-a-Doodle Doom, absolutely this one here, putting it over Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable. And I know, let's get another close-up of that matte one. Let's see how that went. Yep. Despite how this one turned out, I will be using this with a matte top coat in the future. Just again, the lesson I learned here, which I should have known, is that what can happen is that if you don't give your nail polish coats enough time to fully dry in between, like putting more and more on, what will happen is that it'll start to get bunched up. And I think that when you put a glossy top coat on top of that, it's usually not as noticeable, but because a matte top coat will give a different final texture, a matte top coat will show that stuff off that you were not seeing before. So use a matte top coat, but make sure your coats are dry. Yeah, so I hope that this video was fun and informative for those of you who've been looking for new ways to use Doodle Doom. If there are any other iconic nail polishes that you would love me to spotlight in this series, please leave a comment, let me know. I'm always looking for ideas like that. And yeah, as always, thank you all so much for watching, for being a part of this channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.